When I was younger, I never thought that I would have the experience of swinging through a city like Spider-Man in the depth that virtual reality has to offer. To be immersed in any of the games like that is so crazy, and to think about the early stage that VR is in right now, the potential for growth is pretty amazing. The question is though, what would take these VR headsets to the point of looking like real life? After playing Oculus for about a year and a half now, here are some things that I think would bring them closer to that point, all of which should be very possible in the near future, and some actually available now for a higher price point, which I will show at the end of the video. First is resolution. Now we have to pair resolution with refresh rate, so let's break it down. If you've been in a VR headset, you know that it does not look exactly like the video previews. In fact, the most common question I get asked when people put the headset on is it supposed to look a little bit blurry? In Oculus, you can pick up on the small pixels, and even though the image looks beautiful, you can still see them. Because the screens are so close to your eye, they would need to have incredibly high resolution for those to go away. This is something that is actively being worked on in VR headsets, making the image clearer. Now, if you look around, there's no lag in your eyesight. And if you have a computer screen with a high refresh rate, it will achieve the similar smoothness of that. Basically then, VR headsets need to have that same seamless and smooth motion, otherwise you would feel immediately nauseous when you looked around. It would be disorienting, dizzying, and the whole screen would be choppy, killing the illusion. All that said, when these incredible 8K monitors start getting transferred properly into VR headsets, the pixels will start to disappear and everything will feel a lot more immersive and tangible. Speaking of immersive, number 2 is field of view. Take a second to notice your peripheral vision and how you can practically see a full 180 degrees. An average VR headset has much less than that. For instance, the Oculus at 110 degrees. That means that it gives a slight goggle effect and you have to look around further to see what's next to you. For the VR experience to truly fool your brain, it's going to need to replicate this same vision that you have in the real world. On the flip side of all of these topics, I have been incredibly blown away at just how much I can get into a game and forget all of the technical aspects and feel like I'm there. Like palms sweaty from the intensity. I'm really just taking notes from my personal experience in sort of an exciting way for what's to come in the future. There's also a handful of other things that I feel will be important in pulling you into the experience. Additional body mechanics will add a lot. I'm sure some of you have seen the 360 treadmills, additional body trackers, and things of that sort. That essentially brings your entire body into the movement experience versus primarily your head and your hands. Then there's things like more lightweight headsets so that you're not as aware of this thing on your head, and wirelessness, which would actually be one of the largest tasks, as in order to advance all of these steps, it will take a lot more computing power. In order to power better graphics as a whole, you will need an incredibly powerful PC to carry the weight. The good news is that side of technology is also getting better and better. So I really do think that when all of these things are implemented along with progressing game design, that it will take virtual reality to the next step and be even more convincing. As far as virtual reality to the extent of things like Ready Player One, that may just be down the road when humans start linking with AI. If you're wanting to experience the best you can currently, Pimax has an 8K headset with better field of view as well that actually checks 2 of the boxes from earlier. That said, the reason why I left all of these things as still to be accomplished is that this headset has had complaints and concerns around distortion, the actual resolution, and a handful of other things. Them already having that though does make me think that in the near future there'll be something to fully check off the list. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, feel free to subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.